What's up, chess player, and welcome to the Journey to Grandmaster, the place where you can improve every aspect of your chess game. And in this video, I want to tell you point blank what is the difference between a good chess player and a great one, chess professional. So let's say around 2000, or in this case 2100 rated player, and an international master, so 2400 rated player. I'm playing as white. I'm gonna walk you through all of my decision-making process here, and let's try to defeat him. Of course, I might be embarrassed if I lose this game, but well, that's also experience, and hopefully we are gonna learn a lot out of it. So we are having the King's Indian defense, an incredibly great opening for both sides, and I really like to play it as white, because I have here this b3 variation, which I love so much. You might know that I have played this exact variation against Fabiano Caruana, one of the strongest chess players in the world, and somewhere here you're gonna see this video if you haven't seen it yet. I mean, that's incredible one. And by the way, this variation served me very good in that game. Fabiano literally didn't have a chance to outplay me throughout the entire game until the very end of it. So c6, yeah, one of the ways to go on. I just continue. The plan of this variation is always to attack in the center, so I want to play c4. Yeah, he's preparing the move e5, and that is a very good plan for black, actually, because this way you can fight in the center. If you play something else instead, then you're giving full control of the center to white. Let me maybe try to trick him, because e5 right now is not a move. I'm gonna take it, takes, and then knight e5 is possible because of the spin along the d file. I'm gonna be able to win the pawn, but to be able to wait for it, I need some kind of a waiting move. So let's play a4. It's kind of a weird move because I make this b3 pawn a little bit weaker, but maybe it's gonna go on as well. And he changes his strategy. He plays e6, and I assume he wants to continue with d5. So I'm not sure. Let me continue with a5. I need to expand, I need to get more space on the queen side, at least that is my idea. He goes d5. Now I wanted to play c5, but maybe it's a little bit too much if he's gonna play a6. Maybe I'm not gonna be able to somehow continue my initiative. I have, of course, some ideas here, like e4 eventually, maybe like that, but I should be ready for e5 as well, because that is black's main idea, no doubt about that. I can also play a6 first, but b6, yeah, I'm not sure. Knight e5 is possible, with some ideas of a6 as well, but he's gonna take it and then attack my pawn. Let's say knight d7. What am I supposed to do next? f4 feels interesting, but yeah, I'm weakening my dark squares a lot here. But okay, let's go for it. That's the most active move. Let's see if we are gonna get something out of it. Okay, he doesn't go for knight e5, which actually makes it a little bit simpler. Now we can play f4 and support this knight here. Okay, let me help my dog get out of the room, and I'm gonna be back in a second. We are back here, knight e4, sorry, just knight e4, and yeah, the knight is pretty strong there. Not sure how to handle it. I can just take it, because, well, he also wants to play f5 probably and secure it, but I'm gonna need to give up my bishop for that. This position is an incredibly closed one, at least for now, so it might make some sense. Let me try it, because he has this light squares bishop, which is extremely passive there on c8. I have this idea of knight c4 and knight d6, relocating the knight to a beautiful square. He has this e4 weakness. I mean, that seems to be interesting for me, but apparently I have to speed up a little bit, because otherwise I'm risking to get into time trouble, and in time trouble everything can happen, and it doesn't matter how strong you are, you simply just couldn't handle it anymore. So let's hope it's not gonna happen in this game. If it does, it's gonna be very funny for you guys to watch me being embarrassed there, but The main point for me is not to win the game, it's about explaining you all of the important things throughout the game. So knight c4 is a possibility here, because knight c5 is not possible. I'm gonna just take it and my bishop is protected by the knight, but I can also just play b4 first. It depends on whether I am afraid of knight takes e5. I guess not really, because I also have another knight there. So let's play b4. Let's make sure that our pawn structure is very secured. And by the way, knight a3 to c4 is a very legitimate idea. I'm thinking whether knight d2 is better. I'm not sure if there is really a difference. I really like my position, because look at this miserable bishop on c8. I mean, that's fantastic to play against it. And I don't have the light squares bishop anymore. I mean, if I would have it somewhere on b3, that would be also pretty good. But I don't need it, because the position is very closed, and now my second knight is coming somewhere there. Yeah, he also has a knight which is going to be beautifully placed on d5. That is actually not that great, so maybe I should have exchanged the knight earlier. Hard to say. Okay, knight b6 is still not winning, because he's protecting the bishop with his knight. And my dark squares bishop is actually just as stupid so far. Not a big fan of it. Maybe I shouldn't be in a hurry. Maybe I do. I can play knight c4, knight d6, and then the second one will come to c4 if needed. I might have some d5 ideas to sacrifice the pawn, but I don't really see the continuation afterwards. Okay, let's just improve my position for now. The position is extremely closed, so it's not, even if I have a beautiful pair of knights, it's incredibly difficult to get something out of it. I mean, I need to break through at some point, probably with g4, but that is very double-edged. Okay, now it's making actually my task a little bit simpler. Maybe I just play e3 for now to stabilize the pawn structure. And then my goal is to prepare the move g4. Maybe king h1, rook g1, g4. That feels like a plan. I always have this knight d6 and knight b6 ideas, and I'm not in a hurry with that, because the threat is stronger than the execution, so my opponent must wait always whether the knight will come, when it comes and where it comes, and it's very difficult for him. And if I already make the moves, then then my opponent knows what to deal with. He's like, okay, I have this knight, it's very annoying, but at least I know what I'm dealing with. Now he doesn't know, and that is making it, I guess, even more difficult for him. And also it protects the second knight, so that I have an additional opportunity of taking with my knight if he takes. For now I want to play g4 and open it up on the king side. Maybe double the rooks along the g file, rook g3 and rook g1. Notice that black has absolutely no counterplay at all, just not possible to imagine it. Now I know my perfect play, like the dream for me would be to play bishop c3, bishop e1, bishop h4, and then all of my pieces would be very active. The question is whether I can achieve it. Not sure yet, because I have those weaknesses on b4 and e3, and unfortunately I have to go somewhere with my queen to make it possible. Okay, now he goes knight f6, which makes it a little bit simpler for me in terms of this plan, but he's attacking the pawn on g4, and I don't want just to exchange it, it's gonna make it simpler for him. And I don't want to play g5, because it's gonna once again close the position, I don't need that. So I'm gonna play h3 just for now. Once again, my main goal is not to give any kind of counterplay to my opponent. Remember, you never play chess alone, so you should be aware of what your opponent can do, wants to do, what are his dreams, his hopes, and right now, as far as I'm concerned, my opponent doesn't have any hopes at all. He can shuffle the pieces here and there, but doesn't give him anything at all. Once again, I have this knight d6 move pretty much at every point, but I'm not in a hurry to do that. I want to double my rooks here. I'm noticing maybe some idea like knight d7, trying to exchange, and then I need to remove my queen from here, otherwise it's gonna be pinned. Yeah, This is what he does. What could be a good square? Maybe f2. No, actually, yeah, I wanted to preserve this diagonal for the bishop. Takes, but I wanted really to take with the pawn, because now I'm gonna have a perfect square for the knight to go. By the way, the rook is going to be absolutely closed if he doesn't play rook d8 or rook d7 immediately now. Maybe I should have played it immediately, because then the rook would have no chances to get away. Now he has a chance to escape. Yeah, that was a mistake. But no matter what, it's a huge advantage. Yeah, now knight d6 is even better. Maybe he has some... no, sacrifice never works. Yeah, so I just need to get away with this queen. Yeah, queen f2 wasn't a good square. I should have played queen e2, because I want to get here. And now he actually has this f4 idea. Although it comes at the cost of a pawn. So maybe not that great, but still I don't like that I'm losing that much time unnecessarily. I need to bring my second rook now to f1, then bishop will come, and then, yeah, it's just a perfect, a dream position, a truly positional masterpiece if I achieve all of that. And it seems like black cannot do anything about it. Now he has this active opportunity of f4, maybe prepare it with the bishop here, but it's not that simple also because e4 is going to be lost, and that is a very important pawn for him. Okay, once again my dog needs help, so stay tuned. We have 2.5 minutes, bishop c8, where the bishop is going, only God knows, but I guess I'm ready for my remaneuvering here. It's important to say that I'm not in a hurry by any means. When your opponent doesn't have any counterplay, you don't want to be in a hurry, you want to improve your position as much as possible before you do something active. The question is, what on earth could be active here? Maybe I can play bishop g3, queen e1 and bishop h4, but the problem is g5. Maybe that would be the right moment to take. If he takes, I'm gonna have f6. Yeah, that sounds like a plan. And if he doesn't play g5, then... yeah, also not clear what I'm doing next. The queen goes away. Bishop g5, h4, h5. I definitely need to somehow attack on the king side, but the question is how I do that. Yeah, for now bishop g3 seems to be the move to stop the f4 move. If he takes on g4, it's never ever good, because e4 is going to be hanging, then f6 is going to be very weak. And remember, basically those two pieces just doesn't exist on the board. I mean, you can't do anything at all with those two pieces. It's such a horrible thing. Okay, bishop f4, I guess, is the simplest thing for me to do here. I guess I can just exchange, because then it means I have this knight against the bishop, which is perfect. g5, wait, g5 goes away, bishop g3 takes. Yeah, I guess I don't need that. I can also protect the pawn first after g5, and then he will have to play queen h5, but I still don't like it. Let me go for it. And now once again I need to find new ways to improve my position. Hopefully f4 is still not a move. Yeah, I can always take on e4, it's nothing. Just in case, I also have g5, all of those variations. But once again, the question is, how do I make progress? Because at some point I have to go for something active here. Maybe it's time for me to play rook f4. If he plays g5, I can take it on f5. And then play queen h5, thanks to the fact that, well, he can actually exchange the queen for two rooks, but I'm gonna be too active for him to handle it. Yeah, he goes for it. I'm gonna take. Now if he takes, I might even have the move f6, and then it's basically a checkmate. Yeah, now queen h5 takes, rook takes g7. Yeah, I'm gonna get a lot of compensation for it. He takes. Okay, he doesn't. If I take, it's not enough. Let's play h4, he has g4, right? Yeah, but then f5 is hanging, so that seems to deliver this final blow I desperately needed. By the way, knight a8 was a very interesting idea. It might still be a possibility. Just to transfer the knight to f6. Although he had queen f7. No, still knight f6 check, yeah. That was great. But h4 just puts additional pressure on this pawn. If he plays... Yeah, now I guess it's time. Either to take... Yeah, taking is just too simple not to play it. Because otherwise there is no way to save the g4 pawn too. But knight a8 was maybe a little bit of a more beautiful solution. But remember, a point is a point. You don't need to get too beautiful to win the game. You just need to play strong. And that is how you convert such a positional advantage into a full point. Because yes, you can enjoy it, but at some point you really need to break through and you need to deliver that result. And I guess this game is a perfect example of what separates, let's say, a 2100 rated player from 2400 rated player. Because yeah, he was very solid for pretty much the entire game, but you could see that having the initiative matters a lot. Not giving your opponent a chance to attack, to have any active opportunities matters a lot. Now king d5, I have just rook d6 going into the completely winning pawn in games. That is what I'm doing. If you have extra material, just try to exchange as many pieces as possible. Yeah, now he resigns, and I hope you enjoyed this positional masterpiece. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. And in this video, you're gonna see another amazing game where I teach you so much, my entire decision-making process, so you can improve your chess today.